Hello everybody and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm gonna show you guys how you can make some wavy guitar beats from scratch in FL Studio. So let's not waste any time, let's just get straight to it. Alright, so we are here in FL Studio 21 as you guys can see, and we're gonna start off by using this Ilya Efimov nylon guitar in Contact, and we're actually using this classic preset over here. I really feel like this is the best sounding preset, especially if you're going for those wavy nylon type of guitars. So the first thing we want to do for this one is just adjust the BPM a little bit down. For these wavy guitar beats, you pretty much want to be in between 120 and 140. In my opinion, that's just the perfect BPM range for that type of vibe. But of course, you can definitely play a little bit around with the BPM. I know a couple of wavy gunna type of songs that are about 150, 160 and up in that range. But like I said, you can play around with the BPM. But for this one, we're just going to stick to 125. Now, the scale we're going to be working in is actually going to be E minor. Probably going to pitch it down a little bit later, maybe something like D or C sharp. But to start off with, something in between C sharp and F should probably be perfect for this. So to start off with, we're just going to start on the root note, which should be this E4 down here. Then we're just going to make a simple E minor chord. The way you do this is obviously just by skipping the first highlighted note. Then we're going to place the second note on this G. Again, skip the first highlighted note over here and just put the next note on this B4. Now, very importantly, we want to make this a bit more realistic. So the first thing we're going to do is just highlight this middle note and make sure to pitch it up by 1 octave. So now that we have inverted the middle note, we want to strum the notes a little bit. So I'm just going to adjust this G over here. And then I'm also going to drag the B a little bit further away. So now that we have this, we want to make a little bit of a repetitive type of pattern. To do this, I actually really like to use notes that are close to each other, and I also like to repeat several notes over again inside of the pattern. I feel like this is going to give it a more realistic feel, and it's also going to make the guitar pattern a little bit more catchy since we have actually already heard the notes we are playing. So we're going to start off by shortening this one a little bit. I'm going to add a note over here and here since they're pretty close to each other, and then I'm also going to cut up this note so we have a note repeating like I said. So now that we have the first bar over here, we're actually just going to copy the same exact bar over, but on this part we just want to move some of the notes slightly up or down just to kind of switch up the sound a little bit but still keep the repetitive pattern. So the switch up I'm going to do on this part is actually super simple. I'm just going to start off by flipping these two notes over here. So I'm literally just going to put the G where the F sharp starts and this F sharp where the G used to start, and then simply for these two notes I'm just going to lower them by 2 semitones. Now just remember to obviously extend these notes a little bit just so they sound a bit smoother. You can also just zoom in and do some slight little adjustments like this just to get a little bit more of a realistic sound from the guitar. So now we have these two bars over here that are pretty repetitive, but we need to make the guitar pattern a little bit more catchy. And for this part, it's super important to add some higher notes up over here. So I'm just going to start off by copying this E 2 octaves up. Obviously, make sure to zoom in on the E and hold Alt on your keyboard. Then you just want to move it slightly to the side so it doesn't hit at the exact same time as this E down here. Then a super cool trick you guys can do is actually to go over to this magnet tool and just make sure to hit 3rd beat over here. Then we are going to make a super cool little triplet over here on these higher notes. So again, I like picking these notes that are right next to each other. They usually create a lot of tension if you're playing them together. So I'm just going to start off by putting a G over here, make sure to shorten it over here, and I'm pretty much just going to copy it over twice like this. As long as you are in this 3rd beat and you're following the lines, you should pretty much have a triplet pattern like this one. Now I usually like to pitch down the last two by 1 semitone, and then I just highlight everything, going down to the velocity over here, and just hold your right mouse button and kind of flow them down like this. Now let's just copy the pattern over and take a listen to how it sounds. That's such a cool vibe right there. So again, now that we have copied it over, we just want to do some slight changes on these upper notes, again, just so it's not too repetitive. So for this one, I'm literally just going to copy this over, paste it over, and kind of extend it out like this, just so we have a slight switch up over here. Just remember to adjust a little bit of the velocity as well, and that should pretty much be it for the guitar pattern. Yeah, that's super vibey right there. So now let's quickly just add some effects to the guitar. The first effect I'm going to add is just these CLA guitars over here. And I'm literally just using this acoustic shrinking preset. I usually use this effect on my live guitar samples, but I feel like it's going to give this Contact guitar a little bit of a more realistic sound to it. I'm just adding a little bit of roam to that as well. Pretty much is my go-to reverb. Then I'm also just going to open up Effect Rack. And this preset right here is seriously the sauce. So my go-to one recently is just going into these delays over here and just go into this mid-res slapper preset down here. It just gives the sample that little bit of extra touch to it. You can kind of hear the delay in the background. Lastly, we're just ducking away these low frequencies at about 150. Duck down the mids at about 350 as well. And just boost the highs at about 550. Lastly, I'm just adding this J37. Pretty much my go-to saturation. Now for the second sound, I've just opened up this Spancer flute in contact. I think it's from Ventus Ethnic Winds. And we're just going to try to make a cool little counter melody for the guitar. Alright, so I just played in this pattern right here, but I'm gonna fix it a little bit since I really liked how the first part sounded, but I think we need to make some switch ups on the second part. Yeah, I think we have the whole pattern right now. Then it switches up. I'm just gonna add this RC20 as well. Give it a little bit of that D-tune, you know? So when we don't have the flute playing, I want a little bit of a different sound. So I'm just going to open up Mellotron 5 and see if I can find a nice sounding sound that can complement the guitar. Yeah, so I think this might work. Just for the parts where we don't have the flute. It's pretty cool right here. Alright, so the last sounds I'm going to add is just going to be a texture and a bass. So I'm just going to go into my Imperial one-shot kit, and I'm going to drag in this stash bass over here. And then I'm also just going to go into the textures and see if I can drag in a nice one. So I think this forest texture is going to be nice. That right there is pretty much the sample. Now let's get on to the drums. As for the drum sounds I'm using, they are all coming from my Euphoria bundle kit. So in the kit, I have over 200 plus drum sounds. I even have a sample pack with 30 different royalty-free samples. And with that, I've also included a super cool MIDI kit with hi-hat midis and 808 midis. So if you guys like the sounds, make sure you go check out the kit. It's of course on my website, it's BBMarko.com, or you can find it using the first link down below. But I'm gonna start off by adding this club clap over here. That open that is dope as well. Let's add a bouncy little hi-hat pattern. I'm actually just going to go into the MIDI folder in the same pack and see if I can find a nice sounding hi-hat pattern. Yeah, so I really like this number 37 right here. I think it goes super nicely with the guitar. Let's go and add some snares to this. Just this super simple pattern like this. And then we can just add some rims for some more bounce. Yeah, that's fire right there. Quick little open act as well. Now let's go in with the 808. Yeah, that's bouncy right there. Let's do a cool little roll at the end over here. too much 808, so you can still hear the flute in the back. Now I think we just need to layer a kick with the 808 as well. Yeah, the kick is crazy. Now I'm quickly just gonna arrange this one and then I'll show you guys the final beat. Alright, so here we have the final one. Guitar and the flute and the intro together with the bass.
Shut up, Marco.
Then it drops in right there. Just the other counter melody and the guitar for this one. Then the flute comes in. Added some cool effects over here as well. Now a little bit of verse over here. Then the flute is back. The drums go super hard on this one. Then we go down to the bridge. Here it just kind of fades out. Again, that underwater type of sound.